Are you looking for a new opening to learn that is surprising your opponent at literally every rating? Well, in today's video, I'm showing you the Scotch Gambit. It starts with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, and now the move pawn to d4, entering the normal Scotch game. But after they take, we just play our bishop to c4, gambiting the pawn for development. Now in this position, black can play many moves. They can play bishop to c5, knight to f6, bishop to b4 check, or even bishop to e7. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you all these variations. So what happens after bishop to c5? Well, we gambit another pawn and actually threatening to make a big white center, so they have to take. And now we can sacrifice the bishop for a beautiful fork in the middle of the board, and now their king cannot castle anymore. So if they go back to their home square on e8, we can even give an in-between check, forcing them to create more dark square weaknesses on this diagonal. So after we take the bishop, the best move is to play d6, kicking our queen out. But now we play queen takes c3, and we are threatening the rook in the corner. Many people even forget about this and play something like bishop to e6, and we are winning the game instantly. What happens if they develop normally with something like knight to f6? Well, now you benefit of the dark square weaknesses, not letting them defend their knight, and later on looking for some tricky moves like this, or castles and bringing our pieces, and now with them having many dark square weaknesses, and their king not being able to castle, we are very powerful in attacks, and they have a hard time defending against it. So, what happens after knight to f6? Well, we play e5, setting them up for another trap, because after knight to g4, we can just castle. If they take back, we can pin them, and their best way to defend this position is to sacrifice the queen for a bishop and a rook, but now we take the pawn back in the center, attacking their knight and the g7 square. Them having to protect the knight, we take on g7, they have to protect the rook, and we even take on h7. And this position is +2 material wise, and you're actually having a nice time winning this game. But obviously they do not have to take, because it was obviously be losing. So their best move is to play bishop to e7, unpinning themselves, and actually now they are threatening to take. So we play either bishop to f4, or we can play rook to e1, playing normally from there on. But what happens after something like bishop to b4 check? Well, I've played against it yesterday, and I'm gonna show you a game that I've played after I show you the main line. So it starts with c3, and after they take, you just castle. Because if you don't castle and play a normal move, they have a discovered check making another queen. So you have to castle, and after they take, you take with the bishop. And you're already seeing that these bishops are already very strong, and you're having them very strong on the board, and they're actually very good for attacks. Well, what happens after they play the knight out? We'll just kick them out again, and now they're not threatening to take, because now our bishop is protecting, even though they are covering the e1 square for our rook. So they cannot take this. From here, you just play a normal game. You kick their bishop out, you develop your knight, and that's what I did in my game, and I'm gonna show it to you right now. So it's a 1700 rated opponent, almost 1800, and we play the Scotch Gambit, and he goes for the London defense. I go castles, he develops, I develop my knight, we just played normally, and here he blundered a very beautiful tactic, because he's not actually defending, these pawns are not actually defending the knight, so we can just take, because after something like this, we can just go check, 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 and the king is in very much trouble. You can go check again. If this, it's made very soon after something like this, and now you bring your rook up, and now bring your queen back, and now you have something like this, and they are already being mated. So they saw that, and they saw that actually if they take back with this pawn, they're losing the queen, so they lose the game instantly. So they decided to play the game normally. I wanted to attack their pawn on b7. They castled. I checked them. I developed my bishop, pinning their pawn and actually making a room for my rook. Here now I'm playing like this. Now they don't have this pawn anymore, so nothing is attacking my bishop. I go queen to b5, attacking them. They attack my bishop, trying to neutralize all my good attacks. I'm going here. I kicked them out. The computer even liked bishop to c1 more, but I kicked them out. It would be fine anyways. And after this, I have bishop back. And now I have queen to a6, threatening to play something like rook sacrifice. He doesn't see it. And now, this was the best move. They take, which was a mistake. And now I have this beautiful rook sacrifice. And after takes, you cannot take back. Well, I mean, you can, because after they block, you can just take. But after they go to the right, you have to go to the left again. So I go here, and this is checkmate. So this is how you win with a Scotch Gambit, with a beautiful rook sacrifice. Well, now I have one more variation to show you. And that is the variation with the bishop on e7. And now you can play the move c3. This is a beautiful variation, guys. But only if they accept, you can now play queen to d5, threatening mate. They cannot defend it with the queen, so the only way to defend it is to play knight to h6. And after this, they cannot take back because it's still mate, so they have to castle. And your best move is not even to come back. Your best move is to take another pawn, because now they cannot take here, because you can take with the bishop. So they have to take here, and now you just take with the knight. And in this position, their king is exposed to any attacks. You have way more development than them, and you're actually the one winning the game. And this is a beautiful variation. If you liked today's video, well, make sure to like and subscribe to the video, and subscribe to my channel. And actually make sure to join my Discord, because I'm launching a course on many openings soon, and it's gonna be very cheap. Thank you.